Welcome to this help movie on creating views in Rebase. If you haven't already seen the overview and demo movies, we would suggest that you do so before watching this. This movie is going to provide a high-level example of creating views, and then further demos will show specific features in more detail. The example we'll be using is a research institution that runs several skin tests on a set of children over a certain period of time. They will then use the results to produce a set of statistics and reports. So they'll be collecting data relating to the patients and the results of the skin test each time the children visit. Before we look at how to set up a view for this type of project, let's look at the end result first so we can see what we're trying to achieve. This patient and test occasion data view has been set up to collect, process and output all the required data. When the view is opened, we can see it has two tabs. One tab to collect the patient details and another to collect the data for each child's test occasion. After the view has been set up, this is the main window you'll be focused on, as it is where you can add new records, edit records, delete records, import data from spreadsheets, export data to spreadsheets, run reports, or search for data. Later demos will go into the specific details of these features, as well as some of the other options available, such as record locking and flagging, data validation, charts, mail merges, and much more. Now let's start at the beginning to see how this was created. Choosing to add or edit a view will provide you with the following view setup wizard. Step 1 is general information about the view, including the view name and the view administrators. Later demos will go into more detail in relation to user roles, including super administrators, view administrators, staff accounts, and read-only accounts. Categories allow you to structure the view into groups in the views grid. For example, this view has been assigned to Project 2. Therefore, when we close the wizard, we will see it appears in a group called Project 2. You can add additional categories by clicking the Add New Category option, or you can manage the categories from the settings page. Step 2 is where you can categorize your questions into tabs. New tabs can be created by clicking the Add Tab button. You can edit tab names by double-clicking on the title. And tabs can be deleted by selecting the tab and clicking the Delete Tab button. You can also select to copy the selected tab, which will also copy all of its contents. Inside each tab, you will be provided with all the folders and questions you created earlier in the questions section. You can then add questions to the tab simply by ticking individual questions or entire folders to add all of its contents. Once you've added the questions you want into the tab, you can then enter the order mode to position them into the order that best suits your needs. Step 3 filters will best be described using another example which will be demonstrated in a moment. Step 4 is where you can assign users to the view with either full access rights or read-only access rights. After assigning the user to a view, next time they log in, they'll be able to access the view to begin processing the data. Step 5 is for adding additional options, such as setting default sort column and order, restricting sorting on some columns, or even hiding certain columns, and search settings, such as restricting the amount of rows the users see, or changing the default text the users see within the search field. Step 6 informs you the view is now complete and you can begin processing your data. To demonstrate the Step 3 filters, imagine a scenario where multiple research departments was part of the same project. Each site would want to collect their own data, but then the project administrator would want to have access to all site data combined. To do this, we'd create a view and then replicate it 3 times. In this example, one for the site in the UK, one for the site in Canada, and one for the project administrator. Now, when we open the view for the UK, we'd make sure in step 2 to add a question called Centre, which would provide a drop-down list of all the centres that are part of this project. Then we would navigate to step 3 Filters and add a filter to ensure it only ever shows or allows users to input data relating to the UK. To do this, start by clicking the Add button. In the abbreviation column, you'll be provided with all the questions you previously added to the tab in step 2. Select the centre question and then double-click the parameter cell to begin setting up the filter parameters. Again, click the Add button. The type of data you can set in these fields is dependent on what data type the question has been set as. For example, as this question is a lookup, we can choose an operator that is either equal to or not equal to. In this case, we choose equal to. And the parameter cell will show a drop-down list of all the lookup options available to this question. In this case, we choose the UK. You can create as many filters as you like and choosing to join them on the AND or not connectors. And if you wish to remove them, you can simply select a row and click delete. You can also choose as many questions as you like to form your filters. So when we open the data view, we will see it only shows data relating to the UK. Likewise, if we open the view for Canada, we'd see it only shows data relating to Canada. Or if we open the view for the project administrator, which doesn't have a filter on it at all, it will show all the data from all the sites combined. Thank you for listening, and please let us know if we can be of any assistance.